Tonight I got invited out to hunt with my buddy Ron in West Texas. It's got to be a good 4 or 5 months since I've hunted on his property. He's not seeing a lot of sounders right now, just solo boars. And so I'm going to go after coyotes, and I'm bringing the 17 Stinger. Now this was never intended to be a carry and field gun, but shooting prone. So this is the only setup I've got to hold this for tonight. I'll come up with something more permanent, but this will do. I'm going to be using the 18 grain dead blow hammer bullets. Check out the hollow points on that bad boy. And I've got this zipping at 4,925 FPS. This should leave a pretty good hole in a coyote. Now, he's also got a lot of raccoons out there that he wants me to take care of. But I've got my Fluor 736 Thermosight Pro. This is an excellent scope for predators. Has a 6x zoom. It's no longer available. It's really clear too, considering how old this thermal is. I love it. Perfect setup for this. I've got it zeroed at 350 yards. That's how flat this 4,925 FPS bullet is running. Super flat. I've also bringing out the 6.5 Grendel. This is the BCA cheap side charge, as you can see there. 20-inch barrel with the Envision Halo X35 super clear thermal on that. This has a 2.5 native zoom, and this has a 6x native zoom, and that makes sense for hog hunting and predator hunting. And here I'm going to be using the 92 grain power hammers that I've got zipping, I believe, right around 27,000 or 2,700 FPS, 27,000. That would be a ripper. And what's cool about both of these bullets, I don't think any large game has been taken from what I know of with either the 92 grain power hammer or the 18 grain dead blow hammer. So we'll see if something comes out and plays in the field. I really want to get a coyote down with this bad boy.
I stopped by Cabela's to replace the Primos trigger stick that I lost. I got home and mounted my quick detach strap. I'll do a follow-up video for those of you who are interested in making one for yourself. Headed out to Stevenson County. I always love that moment when you hit the back roads and you see no one. I told Ron the first thing that I experienced was how clean the air was to my lungs. Apparently Goldie Boy appreciated it too. As soon as I pulled into the campground, I noticed hogs had devastated the area. Ron and I worked up an evening hunting plan. I headed out to a large pasture that always seems to produce coyotes. The wind was going to be shifting from the east-northeast at sundown. I set up on the far end of a 2,000-yard field that is about 250 yards wide. I put the Primos Alpha Dog collar about 100 yards in front of me with the speaker facing into the wind. Right at sunset, I could hear coyotes calling to the north-northeast. I instantly fired up the Cottontail Distress. 10 minutes into my call, this solo male came into the field about 75 yards to my south. With the wind direction, he got between me and the caller in less than 50 yards. My first shot was center mass. The running shot anchored him, and I did a follow-up mercy shot. I didn't immediately recover this coyote because there were pups to my northeast that were yelping. I booted up my pup in distress. They kept responding. It took about 15 minutes for the mom and 3 pups to walk out about 350 yards to my northeast. I watched them for a moment, debating whether to take the shot. I turned up the pup distress to see if they would come in closer. The lead coyote was returning back to the woods. The sling I was using did not provide a 4th point of support that I like, but the rifle is flat out to 350 yards, so I attempted the shot. Got him. Come on. Go down. Go down. Oh, he's down. Oh my gosh, I hit him. The first shot was high. In slow motion, you could see that the bullet splashed just over him. The second shot was low at about 375 to 400 yards, but I could see at this distance that the rifle was dead on. At broadside at about 500 yards, I decided to hang the crosshair just over his back.
Got him.
As I was finishing this set, Ron contacted me and told me he was leaving his area and that coyotes were howling all around him. I headed his direction. The wind was all wrong for this set. Ron had been hunting in the northwest corner of the property, the ideal location for me to set up my collar with the northwest wind. I decided to hunt the very southeast corner of the property and see if they would cut across the field. I used fawn in distress. 10 minutes into the call, I heard a doe behind me bleat. Behind her was a coyote crossing the fence line. The coyote worked the entirety of the field. Looking through my N-Vision halo, I could see that he was a hairless, mangy coyote. He kept working farther out. I couldn't remember the distance of this field, something that I typically do to know my ranges. He got downwind of the call in the thick grass. When he didn't see anything moving, he turned around and started running farther away. When he stopped, I zoomed in 2 times, which equals 10 times digital zoom, and I took the shot. In slow motion, you could see the shot landed just in front of his chest. After the shot, I ranged the distance and guessing he was over 300 yards away. On the way back, I decided to check another pasture. There were hogs on the far north end of the property. She was really a big sow with a group of piglets following, but there was no way to get to them without spooking all the new colts, calves, horses, and cows. Smart choice for these porkers. I spent 45 minutes looking for both coyotes, and I know I definitely downed one of them. When I got back to the campground, I almost ran over a hog. I busted out my handheld to try to spot and stalk within distance. I could see a heat signature. I switched over to my N-Vision halo, but was not confident it was a hog, so I passed. I told Ron this was the most animals that I've seen in the past 4 months. It was great getting out under the stars of West Texas. Can't wait to do it again. Hammer bullets, advanced technology, simply better.